Here's how to use your birth chart in astrology to find out how you're going to meet the people that you both date and marry. For this technique, you're going to need the exact birth date, time, and location of where you're born, and your chart pulled up in whole sign houses. You can do that just by finding any website. This is not my chart, this is just the chart of the current astrology, but for this technique, we're only going to be looking first at the 5th and 7th houses. The 5th house is the house of romantic relationships, and the 7th house is the house of committed relationships like marriage. Disregard any planets inside these houses. That's not what we're looking at right now. So for example, Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, we're not looking at any planet. What we want to look at is the sign of the 5th house and the 7th house, and then we want to look at the planetary ruler. So if you're not familiar with the planetary rulers, I will have a list of each sign and its planetary ruler, but what we're going to look at is, okay, 5th house, Aquarius. Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. Where is Saturn? Saturn is in the 7th house here. So 5th house is dating and romance, and Saturn is in the 7th house of committed serious relationships. So this is probably going to show that this hypothetical person dates people that are already their best friends or very close to them. Then if we go to the 7th house for how we marry or those kind of situations, the 7th house is Aries, which is ruled by Mars, and Mars is here in the 11th house of groups, friends, and network. So the people that we end up marrying or just getting into close relationships with are in our social, political, organization kind of network. And this particular chart isn't that unique or interesting with that combination. It's kind of just showing that we date people that we are close to and we're close to people in our shared network. But I'll have a list of house meanings come up here as well so that you can pair the planetary ruler with that house meaning. So wherever the 5th house ruler is, wherever that planet is representing the 5th house, that represents how you're usually meeting people that you date, which can be different than the 7th house ruler. That planet and where it is usually going to represent how you meet the people that you're legitimately marrying or falling into relationships with. And those two often do work together, so it paints a story of your relationship dynamics in your life. Depending on where the 7th house ruler, if you're not currently in a relationship with someone and that's not how you met them, they're probably not the one, if that makes sense.